Hey guys, I'm going to be doing the 10 influential books tag started by Reed Susie Reed, and I was tagged by Books Under the Bed and Amanda Thompson. Most everyone on BookTube has done this tag of their 10 influential books, so I really wanted to jump on and do this. A lot of my choices, I either have put them on this list because they were influential to me personally, or they were influential to me because they taught me something about the world or humanity. Quite a few of these books are my favorite books of all time, but some of these books I wouldn't necessarily consider my all-time favorites, but they still deeply influenced me, and they made me think about something, either about myself or about just humanity. Right here on the side, I'm going to have all of my books listed. The point of this tag is to just briefly just say, hey, these are my top 10, video's over. But I feel kind of strange doing that, so I'm going to disobey the rules, and I'm just going to briefly give you a summary about why each book is influential to me. And as a note, I am going to go in order of, I guess, starting from my childhood and working up to now, I suppose. So yeah, you're going to notice a lot of children's literature early on. But yeah, if you don't want to hear my reasons why these books are influential to me, then here they are, and you could just exit off right now. But if you want to hear why they are influential to me, then keep watching. Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This book is influential because it was one of the very first books that I can recall reading in elementary school. My teacher read this book to us, and I fell so much in love with it. And this book also deals a lot with issues of death, and I remember reading this, and after we had finished reading it, the teacher wanted us to write an essay about whether or not we would want to live forever. And that's basically what Tuck Everlasting is about. It's about a family who is immortal, basically, because they drink out of a magical pool. The Giver by Lois Lowry. This was my very first dystopian book back in the day, and this book is basically about this place that seems like a utopia, but it's actually not. And I just really liked that this book made me think about freedom, really, and the fact that we should have choices in our life. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This kind of just makes the list because it was the very first classic that I read, and it's the very first classic that I just picked up for myself. It wasn't required reading at all. Night by Elie Wiesel. This book just had so much deep meaning and taught me a lot about humanity and the evil that people can do, and just such a heartbreaking story. The Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I think most everyone has this on their list. Unlike most people, though, I didn't read this series until I was almost out of high school, so I didn't read this as a child at all. And really the reason why this whole series is influential to me is just it kind of introduced me to geek culture, and I think it just kind of developed who I am as a person today. The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. Kind of my first kind of experience into really heavy historical fiction, and really got me into my obsession of the Tudor period and the English monarchy. And Philippa Gregory is one of my most favorite authors. The Essential Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. This is the complete Edgar Allan Poe, all of his poetry, all of his short stories, and also his one novel. Yes, I have read this entire book. I consider Poe to be one of my all-time favorite classic authors. It's just influential because he has just a very unique style of storytelling, and it's kind of how I kind of view my own writing in a way. His writing is kind of what I aspire to write like. So Poe is just influential for me as a writer in general. Confessor by Terry Goodkind. This is by far not really my favorite book in the series, the Sword of Truth series. It is a high fantasy novel, but the reason I picked this book is because it was influential mostly for political reasons, my political affiliation. I'm not going to sit and get into that, but I'll just kind of leave it at that, I suppose. But this really kind of affirmed in me my own political beliefs and how I think in regards to politics, I suppose. Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This one is mostly influential for personal reasons. It deals a lot with life and death, I suppose, and childhood versus adulthood. So yeah, this one's just a personal one for me. And lastly, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. It wasn't until I read this book that I realized how much I love literature and how much I love to read and write. And it all has to do with just the power of words and language, and that's what I love so much about literature. And not only that, this book, it has it takes place in World War II in Nazi Germany, and the big focus is on the fact how Hitler uses words to influence a whole country, to basically destroy itself and to destroy a whole race of people. So I like this book for what it says about humanity, and also just a personal reason for it just really making me realize how much I love literature. And literally, the very last line of this book, it put me to tears, and I could not stop thinking about this book for hours, if not days. So that's it for my 10 influential books. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do you guys consider any of these influential in your lives? Just let me know in the comments below. As far as tagging people, almost everyone has done this tag. I'm going to tag Marco A. Sanchez. I don't think you have done this at all. I watch all of your videos, so I'm going to tag you, buddy. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you liked this video, you may like these. Bye, guys.